Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. I'm coming at you with another paint comparison video. I've got some figures painted. They're about 50% painted. I went ahead and dipped them with a polyurethane dip, and it leaves, and you can kind of see on the screen here, I've got some French soldiers. They leave a shiny gloss coat to them, okay, because it's a polyurethane dip. Now we want to get rid of that gloss coat. You can leave it if you want, but I'm not finished painting with these guys. I want to clear coat them so that I can continue painting them. I don't want them to be gloss. I like my figures to be semi-realistic looking and not look like models on a table. I want them to look like soldiers on a table, right? Okay, so that's the effect I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dull, flat, nice looking appearance to these figures. So I have a number of clear flat sprays, and I've tried them all, but never at the same time. And I've felt inside that I've had different results from each of these. So what we're going to do today is we're going to spray some of these figures in batches with each of these colors, and then, or I should say, with each of these clear coats. And then we'll compare the results of each one up close in just a minute. We'll do it up close so that you can see which one is best for you, and then I'll tell you which one I think is best for me. Might be the same one, might be different. Now, what are we comparing? Well, actually, we're going to compare the Krylon Flat Crystal Clear. This is Krylon Color Master Flat Crystal Clear. Indoor-outdoor, dries in 10 minutes. Okay? No runs, no drips, no errors. That's what we're going to try. We're going to try, that's our first batch. Our second batch is a Rustoleum. Actually, our second and third batch is a Rustoleum. This is what's called the matte finish, and it has like a little bit of art on the front. And it says non-yellowing, fast drying, ideal for crafts, art, and decorative projects. But it's matte. It doesn't say flat. So we'll have to check. And then this one is Rustoleum. It's a new one I just got. It's called Matte Clear. So I was kind of expecting it to be the same as this. But Rustoleum has a whole line of American accent 2x cover, right? So basically it feels like you get the same amount of paint in a can, but it comes out twice as much. It's like it's magic. Okay, so this one says bonds to plastic, fast drying, non-yellowing, UV resistant. So that does this one didn't say that. It probably is, but UV resistant basically means if it's left in the sunlight, it won't stain. It doesn't say anything about like art projects or anything like that. It just basically says this is what you get, matte clear. Okay. So we're going to try this one. I'm honestly hoping this is the best one, just gut-wise, because of the amount of coverage it gets and the cost. This is like $3 each, $4 maybe, and this is like $5. Now, recently, I think Rustoleum has acquired testers, because the testers paints, the model dull coats, now says made by Rustoleum. I have an older one. I don't know where it is. It's out here somewhere. It's over there. It doesn't say that. It says Testers Corporation. They're both in Illinois, so maybe they're the same company. I don't know. I'm not really into that. But this is the Tester Dull Coat lacquer. This is a spray lacquer. This is not, well, who knows what those are. But what I've noticed is this does not provide any kind of protective coating. It just dulls whatever you've already got, where I'm hoping that these actually give you some kind of protective coating, or even this one. So now let me go ahead and zoom in on the 4 different miniatures that I've already sprayed outside, and they're drying. I'm sure they're dry already, and I'll bring them in. We'll do a close-up, and we'll see which ones are flat. All right, guys, we're back now. Just to kind of, as a casual observation, I'm seeing a little bit of gloss on these from the testers, right? The clear matte doesn't, well, there's a very little bit of gloss on his shoulders. It just might have been that I didn't paint very well, because a lot of the gloss has been removed. And then this one, the gloss has been removed, and this one, the gloss has been removed. So let's take a close-up look at some of these models. Okay, I realized that I didn't show you any of the the ones that were shiny. Now, see, this is how they this is the result of the dip after, I mean, when it dries, how shiny it is, right? You can see the pants there are shiny. His coat is shiny, right? You can see that it's shiny on his trench coat. Backpack's awful shiny. You kind of get that really serious shine on there, right? So let's take a look at the other side. And you can see how shiny that is, right? That's just super shiny. So let's take a look at some of these models as we go. And you can kind of compare to that shiny version of it, right? So you notice how the shine is gone. There's a little bit of shine on this model. I don't want that. I don't want it to be a matte, really. I want it to be a flat. We come around, we see it still has a little bit of shine on his jacket. A lot of shine right inside there and there. Okay, so that's pretty much a failure in my opinion. And we look at this guy, still shiny, pant-wise, jacket-wise. Flipping it over. Not too bad. That's good pant. And I might not have just put enough on it. I might have been liberal. And you can see this not finished painting. This is only like 50%. I get to a certain point where I need to dip it, and then once I've done dipping it and it gets down in the cracks and it highlights all the good details and stuff, then I go back in and I touch up all the details and give it a highlight. Okay. That was not too terrible. I don't like those pants. Don't like these pants. Too shiny. Or this coat. Okay, so we get an idea that this Testers one probably needs a second coat. Right? That's kind of what we're getting out of that. So let's go to the 2x matte clear. Okay, yeah. I'm seeing a little bit of shine on these guys. Okay. Almost the same as this. It also means there might, yeah, there's a little bit of a shine. Comparatively, it's a lot less. But there still is shinage. Pants don't look too bad. I want it to be flat, not matte. If they make flat clear, I would have to jump all over that. That's not bad. Those guys actually look pretty good. Yep, even that little bit of shine I'm okay with. Because I'm still going to be painting over it a little bit with some highlighting. Yeah, that one actually came out really well. Whoa. Whoa. They're dipped. They're safe. A little bit of shine. A little bit. Not too terrible. But there is a little bit of a shine. Okay, so if I had to give it a scale of shininess, where this being 10, I would say that was about a 5, and that's probably about a 4. So it's less shiny than that one, but still pretty shiny. All right, let's take a look at just the plain old matte finish for artwork. Pretty good. Jacket there might be a little shiny. That's actually really good. I'm okay with this one. This one is nice. Also, that one is nice. Okay, this Rustoleum matte finish is kicking butt so far, in my opinion. Okay. that also just might mean, because I bet you that I bet you it's the same formula, but maybe I need to do a second coat of that just to double check, because I might have just laid it on a little thicker on this one. Look how that dip gets into the pants, man. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Yeah, these are all probably 3s on the glossy scale of Mr. Everything. Maybe even 2s. Nah, probably 3s. Look at that jacket. 2s or 3s. That's actually pretty good. So far, so good. Just based on this initial coating, I think that's the best. All right, now this one actually says flat on the packaging, so we'll see. Let's see what we got. They're flat. There's a little bit of gloss up underneath there, but that's probably because the spray probably didn't get down inside there. They're flat. Damn, they're freaking flat. They're freaking flat, except for that spot right there. That's okay. A little bit of tiddling isn't going to do anything. Okay. Yeah, these guys are freaking flat. These are 1s. 1s or 2s. We'll call it 2s. There's a very minor flatness. Or glossy. Okay, it looks like all the rest of these are going to get sprayed with Krylon flat. And then I'm going to hunt this down to see if I can find that. Well, actually, I think I'm going to give this group here, a second coat of this and see if that makes them flat or not. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to Krylon. And this is all 1 coat. So, first coat, Krylon wins. We're going to give this one a second coat real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, a couple of things. I went ahead and did a second coat on these guys, and then I also grabbed a fresh group that I hadn't primed yet, and I sprayed them with like an extra heavy coat, hoping to match that, right? So these are still in the process of drying. I'm kind of still have a few more minutes to dry. But there's a couple of observations I noticed right away. The second coat did not make it more flat. It actually gave it more of a shine. You can start to see that these are actually more shiny with the second coat of the matte clear, right? Yeah, let's keep looking. Another piece of information. What I noticed when I put the second coat on here, I'm sorry, not the second coat. When I put the extra heavy coat on there, it had and I guess this one too, is it had a chemical reaction with the polyurethane when I did an excessively heavy coat. Not excessively heavy, but it was just a little bit heavier than normal. But it had a chemical reaction with the polyurethane, making it wrinkle. Right, you can kind of see the wrinkling right there, and only in the places where the polyurethane had really puddled up, where it had pooled up at the bottoms of the trench coats. That's really the only place where there was a big chemical reaction. But this is the extra heavy coat, and you can see it's dull, but it's not flat, right? It still has like a 3 or a 4 in my Mr. Everything's flat scale. That one actually looks really good. Those pants look really good. The jackets look okay. But when I turn them around, the trench coat, man, it's shiny. All right. So in an emergency, or if I don't have anything else, I can use this, and I'll just have to remember to only use 1 coat. This is the worst right there. That spot right there tended to be, you can see how it had that bad interaction with the polyurethane. That's not going to be too bad because it's just a trench coat, and when it dries, it's going to be super hard. And when I go back and do the touch-ups, it'll just make it, I'm just going to make it look like wrinkled fabric. So it shouldn't be any problem. I just don't want it to damage your paint job if you spend a lot of good time on your paint job and then you dip it and then you spray it, that it comes out flat like that. Okay, so let's just take a look at the Krylon once again as the final. You can see that is flat. You can see there's no shine at all on the greatcoat, the pants, the jacket. I mean, there's no comparison. The Krylon, and well, first of all, it's called flat, so it should be flat. These do call themselves matte, so they're not misrepresenting themselves. It's just that it's not dull. Okay, but the Krylon one is, so that's what I'm going to be using unless I can find this in flat. Alright guys, thanks for coming out and checking out this video. Krylon Crystal Clear it is.